my fellow speakers have treated were subjects related to politics and campaigning. But even though Mariam mentioned it and Sinead mentioned it too, we failed to mention a very important part of campaigning and politics that is actually lacking in our movements, both in the atheist movement and I fear more in many feminist movements or many feminist groups, which is the lack of international integration of the movements. What I mean is, and let me talk a bit about the anti-abortion and anti-contraception movements internationally. These movements are backed by major, let's call it corporative religions such as Christianity, Lutheranism, Mormonism, and Islam, of course, that they are organized at a very international level in which governments, churches, and people fundraise all over the world to fund specific campaigns in different countries. So that we see, for example, that even especially the Catholic Church has research wings that provide false research, or at least research that is true at a certain level, but that tries to produce false results. For example, in the case of Argentina, and I know it must be the case in many places around the world, we have a sexual education law that forces all schools to provide sexual education to their students. Now, what the Catholic Church does with their private Catholic schools is they do provide the sexual education with a sexual education book that has been provided and made by a university in Spain. That sounds very legit. Of course, the university is affiliated with the Catholic Church, and the book says that a person who uses a condom is more likely to get an STD than a person who doesn't. Because they base this result on the fact that when they did their research, the person who doesn't was considered as a person abstaining from sexual relations, so they have a 0% chance of getting an STD. And of course, this prevails all around the globe. And it's this type of campaigns and this type of research arms that we lack. We are not organized as both the feminist community and the atheistic community do not have the length of organization and cross-financing at an international level that these major behemoths have. We all are more of a grassroots movements. Rachel is it? Yeah, talked about how her group is more of a grassroots movement, but after they started being contacted by international media, it's when they realized that actually their issues matter to everyone in the world. When you just said that there was that this woman said that it didn't affect her, it affects all of us. Men, women, we are all human, and it affects everyone in the world. Right now, there's major groups trying to finance anti-offense law, or what they call religious freedom laws in the world, that are just protection of religion from being criticized in any possible way. And it's actually our fault that we're not coordinating our efforts in a better manner to stop this. AEI has been working the past year. We work with Mariam, and we work supporting everyone we can at an international level. And when I see cases like the Cevita case here, I can't bear to think how similar is this from the situation that feminists have in Argentina, where the law is actually quite similar to the Irish law, and when the presence of the church is similar. Luckily, we do not have the Islamist problem that you have here, especially in the UK. But the Catholic Church is quite similar there, and it's pouring hundreds of thousands and millions into the Argentine economy, into the Argentine anti-abortion economy, so that they can stop what people are trying to pass in Argentina, which is abortion. This is where we have to work together. We don't just have to push boundaries. We have to start pushing frontiers. There are countries where there are well-established groups with which we can work, and we have to work. We shouldn't be afraid of international pressure. We shouldn't be afraid of international lobby. lobby can be good, and we should use it. We should use our presence, the presence of certain organizations in the UN, and we should push for these issues to be understood as human rights issues. A clear case is in the American Declaration of Human Rights. Originally, they wanted to say, when they declared, I think it's Article 4, or no, Article 8, they mention what a person is. And sadly, Argentina observed that, and they had to change it, put in a comma, a person is understood, and they wrote that the person is understood from conception. Argentina, thanks to Argentina, I had to put that, but it's an international declaration of rights, and many people try to base that to say, okay, abortion is illegal in all the countries that accept it, etc., etc. And we have to work against that at an international level. That's about all I want to say.